Perhaps best known for its difficult stint in Formula One, Manor's World Endurance Championship effort just needs a crucial ingredient to completed the recipe. There's one phrase that usually follows any mention of Manor Motorsport: proper racers. And with good reason, for few teams have the varied experience to match the Yorkshire squad, the roster of alumni from junior formulae. Best known to many for entering a costly few seasons in Formula One, proper Manor left the circus for the World Endurance Championship after a few years in vain. Just the name was briefly left behind in 2015. It must have been a welcome relief. This coming season sees the team spread its wings again, following 2 seasons of those wings being clipped in the spec formula of LMP2. It is the first confirmed recipient of Ganetta's new product, as Graham Loden and co. step up to LMP1 to fight with Toyota, in partnership with Chinese company Talent Racing Sport (TRS). While millions of pounds have changed hands between TRS, Manor, and Ganetta, there's more to it than merely custom. We have a huge amount of confidence in Ganetta, says Loden. We've known Lawrence for a long time, and the most important thing from our point of view was the relationship over and above the product. The relationship will continue as it has from the start, pops up Tomlinson. Manor and TRS have been at the factory building the car with our boys. There are very few factories that would have customer teams inside as bits are arriving. They have been there putting their car together. Once it's delivered, how they develop it is up to them, but we'll always be in contact. It's a two-way street, TRS and the M&AG at the end. TRS's involvement will be changing too, and Loden's hope is it will open new doors to both the team and the sport. Last season, when we were working with TRS, the team was still Manor. In LMP1 it's a joint venture business, a true partnership. There are, we think, lots of opportunities where we can bring our expertise and their contacts and skill set. China is very fertile ground on which we can do our part. If you change that fan engagement by 0.1% in the UK, then it's great, continues Loden. Do that in China and it's just enormous. We're seeing more and more popularity as we're getting more and more engaged with the fans. The opportunities for motorsport are absolutely huge. It's a huge population. There's no reason why a young schoolboy or girl shouldn't be as excited about a racing car as one in Britain or Germany or anywhere else. I've been visiting car plants that are truly amazing in scale and size. Being in LMP1 means the possibility of tying up one of those manufacturers to a branding partnership is opened up. It certainly can be a possibility, Loden admits, and there are plenty of manufacturers trying to make their way out of China and into the West. QTRS. But he's conscious of the negative effect a reliance on manufacturers can have. Car manufacturers' prime responsibility lies with its shareholders. The perspective is different. The reason car manufacturers come and go is that they're not free to make their own decisions. They have a responsibility to sell cars, but the guys involved in the racing team are proper racers. Look at Audi, that was all run by journalists, who are really, really good guys. A branding partnership would therefore be the perfect scenario for Manor and the WEC, as shown in IMSA. The link-up with TRS doesn't automatically mean we should expect to see a Chinese driver dropped in to satisfy the partnership or to attempt to exploit the potentially untapped market, either. He stresses the need for quick drivers, and with Rebellion swooping for André Lotterer and Neil Yarni to help chase Toyota, that need is only amplified. There's also no expectation, deal or requirement to run one of Ganetta's 2 contracted works drivers, Charlie Robertson and Mike Simpson. Manor has learned in recent years that there's more to building an endurance team of drivers than simply picking the 3 quickest. The sum is more than the parts is an often trotted out phrase for good reason. Jean-Eric Venn, who has settled well into endurance racing, look for his opening Le Mans stint in sweltering conditions for proof, must surely be well placed. He is a really talented driver. He's very experienced, Loudon continues. He's raced at the very highest level in single-seaters. LMP2 was a chance for him to build some experience in endurance racing. We've got to know him well, and he's a world-class driver. World-class drivers are what we want in our car. Interest from drivers has been high, according to Loudon, and picking 3 is a tricky task when you consider the wider motorsport environment. The net can now be cast wider than it has in decades. There's a perfect situation at the moment, he says. Works teams have been stopping in WEC and in DTM, and there are no clashes with Formula E next season. It's also become acceptable again, thankfully, for Formula 1 drivers to go and do other things. More are looking at it, and the more of that the better. Drivers love driving these cars. If you give a driver a proper prototype at a circuit like Le Mans and they're not interested in that, then they're not a serious driver. One signing has been made from F1, that of former Ferrari engineer Dave Greenwood. He brings added kudos to the nascent project, and will be an asset in this development-driven formula. He'll push the Gunetta on from a base that's already included big hitters like Paolo Catone and Adrian Reynard. Manor has the final piece in what is a really great group of people, all with a common objective of wanting to be successful. Now it's a case of attracting proper racers to match.